All right,
Okay,
we'll see
do
if we
that. I got it.
You got it?
Yeah.
Okay, we got it figured out. Thank you guys. I'm not sure. Again, it is so nice to have Caleb on the technical side of things, because that is a lot of work to operate all of our cameras and iPads and iPhones and laptops.
What's that look like? More there.
All right, and also directing.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
real quick, want to thank Maxxis Tires for their support of our 2024 WeRock season, along with Laser Nut.
I can do that too.
Metal
We'll have
Cloak.
a presented by Maxxis Tires showing up here.
Oh, there we go. Brannick Motorsports, Crown Automotive, Spider Tracks Off-Road Raceline Wheels, PCI Race Radios, and Tire Right. So thank you guys. If you have the opportunity to support those vendors, please do so, and please let them know how you heard about them. The fact that we talk about them every Wednesday. So yeah, please support our marketing partners. And if you guys want to say hello to Carl Shortridge, oh my goodness. Carl, hopefully you are ready for Good Evening Ranch coming up here in a couple very, very short weeks. I don't know. I finally was just looking at the calendar, figuring out what the actual date that we were going to leave was. And Memorial Weekend is very early, so it kind of threw me for a loop. We actually have a little bit more time, so I'm very, very excited about that. But that means there's still plenty of time to get your tickets. Those are available in advance, and there is a discount code available for that as well. For the camping, I just talked to Matt at Good Evening Ranch today to get an update. Still plenty of RV sites with water and electric available through the Good Evening Ranch. Cabins are fully booked, but there is only a short waiting list. So if you want to take a chance and try and get in on a cabin, you can get on the waiting list for that. And then, as always, plenty of dry camping there. So just a lot of cool things going on out there.
They have another excavator.
Oh, yes.
So
yeah, so we're very excited. One of the great things of being in a private park is that we get to kind of come in and manipulate some of the courses there. So that really opens up some different alternatives for us. So it's not the same thing over and over again as well. So we'll see what.
This will be my first time setting courses there, as last year I flew out. Tried to get there Thursday night.
Yes.
And I did not make it there Thursday night.
You did not fly fast enough.
No. But I did get a ride with the Crazy Cruiser Motorsports team into the comp site the next morning. So now this year I'll be setting some courses. I'm excited. Hopefully it'll be dry and we can do some cool stuff. But
yeah,
it's the East Coast. When is it dry?
And it's early, so
I don't know. The She Crawls event looked real dry.
Yep, She Crawls, and then this last weekend was also John Herrick with Crawl Magazine was out. So there is lots of things going on at the park. If you guys have not had the chance to get out to the Good Evening Ranch, very, very cool terrain. It's a great place to wheel for sure. So we could jump right into, I know we can talk about the courses and kind of what we think we'll have, but having the ability to manipulate that with an excavator on site is very, very cool. And I guess they were tired of moving one excavator from one side of the park to the other side of the park to do things, so they have bought another excavator. So there'll be one on both sides of the park. So that will give us good access to an excavator all week long.
It's a gorgeous site. They take very well care of that park. It's a beautiful. I mean, it's a great part of the country out there.
Oh yeah, absolutely incredible. So we've been to Tennessee. I've been competing in Tennessee. I can't remember. It's way too long. And so I've been to Tennessee a lot. And I thought that West Virginia would be just like Tennessee. I mean, they're same area, right? Absolutely nowhere near the same, unless you count them as hills, I guess. But very, very pretty. Absolutely gorgeous to get back into the park as well. So as far as registering, you do not have to pre-register as a competitor. It does help Colby out a ton with having that information ahead of time.
It makes it easier on everyone. We already have your information. You can just come up, and whether you pay on site, if you register online, you can select to pay on site or pay beforehand. So it can be up to you, and then all the information you put in there, we'll have that already, and you can be good to go when it's time for tech and registration, which, like usual, will be, I believe, 4 to 7 there.
Yep.
It makes that a little bit easier. But if not, and you just want to show up, don't know if you were competing until you get there, or if you have the car's going to be running when you get there, you can show up and we can get you registered and everything on site as well.
Yeah. And if you are going to be late, please let us know. We kind of had an unfortunate miscommunication, we'll say, for Cedar, and we ended up not having a team register, and so they had to go first both days. We don't want that to happen to you guys. If you are planning on coming to the event, let us know, and we will do what we can to make accommodations.
Yeah,
for
we
that.
do. So we do tech Saturday morning as well.
7 to 8.
7 to 8, you can come in and register anytime. But anytime after that, and you have not let us know that you are going to be late, you will be put first in the running order. We are trying to get everything. I mean, everything gets tossed together that Saturday morning. That's when we have to put running order and judges together, and so signing up 9 o'clock when we're supposed to be having the drivers' meeting. Well, I mean, that point,
and everybody wants to know what course they're starting on, and we're still trying to get people registered.
We can't put a running order together if we're still taking people then. So unfortunately, you're just going to go first both days.
Yeah. So if you are going to tech Saturday morning, please pre-register so that we have that information, and then also just let us know that you're not going to make it Friday night, and that we will we'll make arrangements so that we can see you guys early Saturday morning, because it is 7 to 8 is very, very early in the day. Speaking of tech and registration, from 4 to 7 on Friday night before the event, dinner will be sponsored by Brannick Motorsports. We will be hosting a Hot Dog Friday, thanks to Stan and Brandon. So we will be grilling up some hot dogs and hamburgers, and we'll have some coleslaw and some cold frosty beverages, courtesy of Brannick Motorsports. So a huge shout out to those guys, and we are super excited to have our own Brannick Motorsport Hot Dog Friday. I've always been jealous, when they have those at the shop. For years and years, they would have a Hot Dog Friday once a month, I think, over the summer at Brannick. And they're only, I'm trying to think, they're probably like 8 hours from us here. So, it's not that far to drive for dinner, right? Go get some hot dogs and see everybody. But we will be hosting our own Brannick Motorsport Hot Dog Friday at Tech and Registration for the rest of the season. So make sure you guys come hungry, and we'll have plenty of food for you guys on Friday nights to come hang out for Tech and Registration. So,
and speaking of Brannick, make sure you guys follow them, and they just posted that they do have their stub axles back in stock. So if you've been waiting on one of those, they are back in, and you can get that order in. I'm sure they'll go quick. So good news there.
They've also got some super cool Brannick Motorsport tumblers. We definitely have a couple of those on order. We also ordered your axle shafts last week, so it is going to be a while. I believe Stan said 6 to 8 weeks on some custom double spline axle shafts that we've got coming. So, but make sure you reach out to those guys. Any of your drivetrain or custom machining needs, Brannick Motorsport, Stan and Brandon are definitely the guys to talk to up there. So, let's see, I think that was all we had for the Brannick industry news. I did see that Tire Right just published a post on Facebook, posted up, as we like to say.
Okay.
But they have some new tire air down tools coming to market. I believe those are going to be available for pre-order maybe June 1st, I think I read. It's probably in here somewhere, but they have a 10% discount code available for those. It is TR Deflators 10. So if you guys are interested in some air down tools where you just screw it on down, or airs down to a set pressure, that's very cool. And also you can stop in and see them this weekend at the Overland Expo West. That is in Flagstaff, Arizona this weekend, and they will be located indoor at the vendor booths inside. So make sure you check out some cool stuff happening with Tire Right as well. All right, as far as industry stuff, I think that kind of wraps it up. But we could move into our Crown Automotive Teams update, and we'll start off with another one of our great marketing partners with Laser Nut. Some super cool news that Cody Wagner. Well, we broke the internet.
There it is. It should pop up here in a second.
Nothing new. Camera says that we're back on. So
yeah, I'm sure. Well, it takes a little bit to show back onto the Facebook side.
By the time we beam from Kansas to not quite outer space.
To a satellite that's going many miles an hour.
Yes.
As I was saying, Cody Wagner out in Cedar City, he built that new copper-plated Jesse Haynes car called Moonshine. They ran that first day, and he decided he'd been around a long time, and he had seen all the kids competing, like Caitlin, Braxton. We got
Brett Dickey.
Yep, Brett Dickey, the Manders, along with Colter Brassanini. He's like, I think it's time to put a young kid in the car and let the sport grow. And he just announced that Colter Brassanini will be running Moonshine. I think their first event in that car will be the Delta Rock Crawl.
Oh, that's right.
End of this month.
Coming up in a couple weeks.
Yep.
So, yeah. And then I'm assuming that we will then be seeing that car in West Virginia.
West Virginia, yep. The Brassaninis are making the trip to the East Coast to run West Virginia, the X-Rocks, and then I don't remember if they were also going to be there for Tennessee, but I know we're going to have a few teams out there doing the same thing, out to run a WeRock event and an X-Rock event. So I know that Steve Marquardt is going to be doing a wheeling trip around on his way to each of the WeRock and X-Rocks events. So it's going to be a lot of cool cars and teams out east.
Yeah, for sure. And if you're looking for information in that, you can go to last week's WeRock Live, and Steve had posted some information in there as well, as to kind of how to follow along with his informal trip. So no high pressure, like, come and participate if you want or don't. But if you are obviously not familiar with that area, there's no better way than having a tour guide like Steve, who's
he will show you all of the extreme trails.
Yes.
I don't know if he wheels anything other than that.
I don't think so.
But if there's a big rock, he will find it.
Yeah. So very cool. Congratulations to the Brassanini family and Laser Nut and Cody Wagner. What a great opportunity for these kids. And I mean, they're going to be in the best of the best vehicle, available right now. So that is going to be something really,
maybe
really cool.
Maybe we'll see 2 Brassaninis in the unlimited class.
Yeah, that's something that I meant to. Usually they are on the live. I haven't seen them pop up yet tonight, but yeah, I'm super excited to see. Does that mean Coulter's going to move up into unlimited, or is he going to stay in Sportsman A? Or just switch.
Michael can run Sportsman A, and Coulter can run unlimited.
Yeah.
Show him how to really do it.
Right. Yeah. Say maybe don't fall over here.
Yeah. Come on, Dad.
My bad. So just a couple other Crown Automotive Teams update that I saw in the social media over the last week. Braxton Coleman is making some sort of goo in his front differential.
He's had some
if
soup,
you guys haven't
going
seen
on in,
that reel that he has posted, I would definitely look for that. I don't know what is going on, but
I think something's happening there. Obviously, they said it's still turning, so we'll see if it continues that way for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's whether out of the front or rear diff. I did not.
I was thinking that was out of the front, but it may not be because he was sitting under the car pretty easy. So I don't know.
Because I know that they've had some issues with that rear.
Yeah, with that rear locker.
Rear locker. So hopefully that car can hold together, and it wasn't.
What was important. I don't remember. I think they ran Trail Hero last year with no rear locker as well.
Yep.
So they have been running with no rear locker in that Pro Modified car for like many events.
Almost half a year, I think, in that car. And really, it didn't slow him down that much.
No. Nope.
He really knows how to drive that car with those cutting brakes. And it's, I'd say 75% of the time, if not more, it doesn't really come into play as long as you know how to operate those cutting brakes.
Yeah. I know Dustin Webster was really good at using those cutting brakes, and when he would compete or wheel most of the time, he would run with the differentials open and just use cutting brakes. So
definitely an important tool to have in your comp rig. I think most of the teams are running an ARB with their Toyota 8-inch and those portals. They got front and rear dig, suck down winches front and rear, ARBs front and rear, cutting brakes on each corner. I mean, it's as many tools as you can put in a car to help get that leading edge in the competition. They have it.
And even if it's something that you only use maybe even a couple times a year, it's still, to have those tools in the toolbox. I mean, we saw it's always handy.
Steve Marcourt with his red Unlimited transaxle car, he had no front or rear disconnects.
Right.
And he used so much of the suck down winches and the ARBs to manipulate the weight of the rig. I don't think I've ever seen anyone manipulate the weight of a rig as well as he does, using the suck down winches to help pull a tire up, and then use an ARB to pretty much do a front dig without having to disconnect from the rear.
Yeah, he's had to use all, what tools he did have, at his disposal to really try and make up for the lack of having all those tools in the toolbox. So, yeah, really, really cool. And like you said, Steve really just wore that Fire Ant. Is that
maybe what it's called?
I think that might be the Fire Ant.
It was the most
single
tame
seat.
Fire Ant.
You never knew if it was running.
Yeah, you could pull off and
15-minute conversation, and then he would drive away without starting it, and it was running the whole time.
It may be quieter than Wayne Mortensen.
It might be. So very, very cool. Steve does a phenomenal job of manipulating that car, and as he gets more comfortable in the third car since that one now. I want to say that was that Earl's car. Earl
O'Hagan's, I believe, or
no, I don't remember which one. Anyways, the Jesse Haynes car that he has now. So
out of Texas, one of the
Steve's on here.
Mini portal cars down in Texas, made out of. It finally escaped Texas.
Yeah,
I've never seen that before. Hopefully, I think Randy Cruzy still has his car up for sale, doesn't he?
I think so.
So that's a beautiful car out of Texas as well.
Yep, that's a good pro trail car right there.
Yep,
very solid and perfect sand hollow car too. So,
another Crown Automotive team update is I saw Benner Motorsports in their green buggy, which I think the electric car isn't green yet. Maybe, I don't know what it'll end up being. The transmission's been pulled out of it. It's back apart again. I don't Earl Chapman's. There we go.
Yeah, there we go. I was thinking it was Chapman.
There's other Earls that I get mixed up with. And I don't know what exactly they were doing to the transmission. I heard maybe a trans brake to go with that Garrett's motor or Garrett's
the Garrett turbos.
turbo.
Yeah.
I think that would fit pretty well.
I think so. Yes. I talked to Cam Beasley today, and he is also pulling his transmission back out of the car. Lost all the gears basically by the end of Sunday in Texas, and they've put it back together and still having some issues with it. So they're going to take out some of the race car parts and put some stock parts back in there, and hopefully get that rig ironed out. And
definitely
and
that rig
again.
has gone through a lot of transformations over the years. This year, probably one of the biggest. I think that car is working at best, the best it's done before.
For sure.
New portal, doing portals, and that changed the geometry on it. And but there's still some bugs to work out on it, and hopefully he can get that ironed out. And I think he's going to start doing really well in that car.
Yeah, I mean, Cam and Woody in Texas working together with the new car, and with no reverse in the buggy at all, they were killing courses. Like they were
Not
doing
cones, the courses.
They were doing really, really well with a compromised car. So it's what a huge heartbreak this season with so many car issues. It's just been a weird. I think it's kind of maybe like a post-COVID, parts selection where things just aren't maybe what they were, pre-COVID.
Maybe we'll do like a no reverse and no spotter run. You can't back up at all.
Or all reverse.
All reverse run.
Yeah, all reverse run.
There we go.
Yeah, that sounds
only
fun.
Spotter, only reverse.
Spotter has to stay off the course. They have to stay at the bottom. Dean Benner says trans brakes rock. So if you guys have not had the opportunity to come see a Benner Motorsports show, you better get your tickets now for sure. You're going to want to be there early and be up front, because when they are there, it is guaranteed to be a great time. So we love having those guys out compete with us. Dean, as I've proclaimed the best dressed spotter in all of rock crawling. So, and he's quick
probably,
too.
The hardest working.
Oh my gosh!
I mean, he has to run a lot
with
more
him
than
and
a
Dale
taller
and
person.
Hey, that was Dean. That was over there. So yeah, it will be a great time, and really. David Book says, shouldn't you be charging batteries? So
he's charging his batteries for his hair dryer.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
For his iron.
Oh,
got to iron his khakis.
Dryer.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. That's what he's got the
set the gel,
the wireless the wireless ironing board. Oh my gosh. But anyways, the other thing that I saw pop up on the news feed this week was that Tyler Harper has his new car for sale. He just finished it about a year ago.
Last year.
A little over a year ago.
I mean, it really wasn't hardly finished when he showed up in Baghdad.
Nope. And took the win immediately with it. Yeah. So, that one is probably getting old at this point, I guess. So
yeah, I mean, it's Craig Allen car, like where he just builds it, sells it.
Oh yeah, maybe Craig should buy that.
Oh, and then Tyler can buy it back from him, so that he can store it for Craig before he buys it again.
That's a good idea. Yeah, good idea. We should probably.
We'll just start a storage for Craig, where he can just pay to have it stored somewhere, and then eventually he can buy it back.
Yeah. But my understanding is that Tyler is ready to build a new car. So, and
I know he's
going to be doing the new Iron Man chassis. Is that?
Yep. I think it was a new Iron Man, and so hopefully he won't be out of a car for too long, and then he'll be back out competing. Very well seasoned competitor, and really he's done Pro Mod 1, Pro Trail 1, and now he's had a pretty tough competitor with Brett Dickey behind the wheel of a Caliph chassis.
Yeah, yeah. This has been a different year for Tyler to be up against somebody that he hasn't bested so far. So
Yeah.
I mean, wow. I will say that that Tyler is in a bigger car. That is a big trail style car, which is what the class is built for. And I would say that Brett's car is much smaller. It fits the class rules, but it's really much more purpose built
to be a comp car.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
it goes when you go from an 86-inch. I know I think the Jesse Haynes 2 seats. They're about an 86-inch wide car at the tire.
yeah,
And when you go from 86 inches to maybe
even like
81,
83,
83,
yeah.
you gain quite a few inches to fit between the cones.
Yep. Yeah, I'm not gonna say that that's an excuse of why Tyler isn't besting the Dickies there, but because Brett is kicking some butt. That's
some really
that's
smooth,
the
phenomenal
bottom
driving,
line is he is an
and some
incredible
good strategy
driver.
out of that team. They, they're still. I think this is only their second year competing. They ran Sportsman A for a season, and now they're jumping into Pro Trail, and so they're pretty much learning as they go.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
not taking them long. They know what they're doing.
But I've seen some strategy and some growth where it's just like, all right, well, what's the best decision at this time? And it's like, all right, well, we hit the cone, we just got to get through it. And I mean, that's really good for a competitor.
Yeah. So lots of fun things. We'll have some exciting news next week as well that we're excited to announce probably sometime later next week before next Wednesday. But thank you guys for tuning in. As always, if you have any questions, please let us know. Please share the event either from Facebook or Instagram, or if you're like Dean, you got to get your abacus out and maybe send some messages in a bottle. Whatever you do on the East Coast out there, I don't know, but
carrier pigeon.
Carrier pigeon. Please share the Canvas West Virginia event. We are working hard to try and advertise that out there. If anyone is interested in getting flyers to try and get put up, it is a really tough job. It didn't used to be so difficult to put flyers up, but it's almost like trying to get sponsors these days where you're like, hey, can I put a flyer up? And they're like, no. It's like, oh my gosh, it's like just a piece of paper, and they're like, our policy or blah, blah, blah. So, every little bit that you guys can do to help promote the event, we really, really appreciate that. So with that said, huge shout out to Maxxis Tires, Laser Nut Manufacturing with Cody Wagner, Metal Cloak, Brannick Motorsports, Crown Automotive, Spider Tracks Off-Road, Raceline Wheels, PCI Race Radios, and Tire Right. Coming very, very soon, we will see you guys in West Virginia. Until then, we will see you guys back here next Wednesday. So hit us up if you have any questions or anything that you guys are working on that you want to discuss while we're here. So thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you next